Yes and no, black and white, left and right, good and bad, heaven and hell, right or wrong, reverse, forward, pregnant, not pregnant, one and zero, on and off. Now, what do all these things have in common? If you haven't noticed yet, the common denominator between all of the things I just said and way more is that there is no in between. There is no in between. And same thing that goes with life. There is absolutely no in between. Everything is binary. Whether you like it or not, it doesn't matter. Anything outside of that rule is delusion. Anything outside of that rule and understanding is wishful thinking. I get what you want. You want to balance, something in between. It's bull. It's not real. You're either on or you're off. Yes and no, one or you're a zero. It's that simple. And that's what I wanted to talk about tonight. Recently, I remembered why I became a music artist, and then I remembered my mission, or what kind of music artist I wanted to be. Because after I decided I was going to make music, then you start to think about, like, hey, like you're gonna make dozens and dozens and dozens of songs. Do you want it to be random, or did you want it to have a purpose? Did you want it to have a point? So when I decided to finally become an artist, I knew right away that there needed to be a direction. You couldn't have just started. In order to put in, like, if you're going to be putting in the work, there needs to be some sort of direction, some sort of purpose. And there's so many artists these days that they don't have that purpose, and it's not really heavy. It's just light. It's like, I feel like it today, or I feel like this tomorrow. And it's whatever they feel. There is no in between. The process from getting here to there sometimes might have an in between, but you cannot stay in the in between. And even if you think you can, I decided to stay in between, bull. That's bull. It's not going to work. It's going to fall one way or the other. If you cannot make your decision, the decision will be made for you. That's how the universe works. I didn't make it up. I just understand it to be. Very recently, I was thinking about the days and when I started my artistry, when I started making music, the day I decided to become a music producer for the love of house music. I remember writing down the plan. You need to have a plan. What's the point of making dozens and dozens of songs if there's no purpose, there's no direction? What's your message? And I broke it all the way down to, again, a foundational thought. And I looked at all the other artists in the world and what I don't like about them. And I came down to this. I need to choose one or zero. That was the thought. I'm going to either be a one or I'm going to be a zero. I'm going to be active or inactive. I'm going to activate people, or I'm going to deactivate people. It's going to be positive music or negative music. And at the time I decided to become, music was so negative. It's become much more positive. The frequencies of music, the music industry, has increased. I will not lie. But at the moment, the music industry as a whole was extremely negative and aggressive and angry driven. And there was no positivity out of that. Although a lot of positivity and direction can come from the right kind of anger. So don't get me wrong with that part. But overall, I felt it in my soul, and I still do today. The music industry as a whole was not in a good direction then. It's in a better direction now, but there's still so much negativity. I didn't like artists that chose what they feel today. There's no sense of direction. It's all about me. It's all about me, right? Oh, I feel like making this song, and so I'm going to make this, not thinking of the consequences. What your fans are confused. And even the fans that stay with you after they're confused, now they've chosen to stay confused. And don't get me wrong, I'm a pretty angry person. I have a lot of internalized anger. That is the truth. That is the pure, transparent truth. However, I do try my very, very best to input it into the music that I make, but I need it. I need it deep in my soul. I need it to come out in a positive manner. I need to be a one. I need to be on. There's a lot of songs that I've made where, as I'm making this, as I'm deciding key components to put into the song, key sounds to put into my music, I said, does this sound like heaven? If heaven had a sound, would it sound like this? And sometimes I nail it. Sometimes I don't. Sometimes, it's almost there, but I try to aim for heaven, the pinnacle, the epitome of a feeling. When you describe something that it's so good and you can't describe it because there's no words, that's probably like the epitome of a description of a feeling is heaven. It felt like heaven. It sounded like heaven. It tastes like heaven. It looks like heaven. I don't think you can go past that. That's like the echelon of description when describing something in a positive way. That's the majority of the thoughts behind the music that I decided to make in the past. Now, I won't lie to you either. There's been times in my music where I go into maybe a little bit of a darker direction, but within the darkness there is still a positive message, and I still want that message. I don't want it to be so mysterious. I want it to be direct, like the bull, like the bull. Okay, you mess with him, you get the horns. If he sees red, he's charging. That's it. There's no beating around the bush. It's extremely direct. So with that, I highly encourage you, with whatever you're doing in your life, whatever it is in your life, if you can remember to be a one, be active, be the positive force in your own life and then onto others. Period. Try your very best to help when you can. Try your best to help when you can't help. It could be anything. You have no idea who's watching. I can't believe the more and more I drop music, the more people from all over the globe. It's not a lot, but I talk to a lot of people around the globe in multiple conversations with talking about truth. These days, the truth is a very popular topic. The truths of the world, the secret, the nasty truths, the dark truths. I think that's positive if people are having a conversation about that. That's what's happening right now. But overall, people have complimented my music. People are telling me, I listen to your music every single day. I have people who have my music as their alarm clock. That's giant. That's giant. I don't have 1,000 loyalists yet. And by the way, that's my number. I want 1,000 loyal people, loyalists. And I always say this, I would much rather a small nightclub surrounded. If I'm the lead act at a club and I had everything if it was my world my way, I would want 1,000 of my loyalists at the club and nothing more. Only 1,000 tickets at that club that night, and I'd rather choose that 100 times over, 1,000 times over, than 100,000 people seeing me at the Tomorrowland stage or the Ultra stage or anything like that. I don't want that stage. I don't like that stage. I don't like the people that go to those things. It's too much. It's not good. I've been there. Don't like it. Never indulged. Never will. I'd much rather 1,000 loyalists at the club coming to see me, paying the ticket to see me, over any other performing scenario. If that takes me 20 more years, 10 more years, 1 more year, it doesn't matter. I'm here. I'm here till the end. For the rest of my life. I will be here trying to make some music, trying to make it all work. Coming back to it, recently I remembered why I'm here. I remembered why I started, and I remembered the purpose. A lot of the music I make is actually part of a fight. I can't stand evil. I can't stand it. We all have some evil inside us. I understand that. Okay, we're good and we're evil. But we're talking about conglomerate evil without a cause, evil without a purpose, just pure, plain evil. And what I did was I summed it all down to what's the most powerful thing in the universe. And it's actually what Nikola Tesla said. The secret to the universe is frequency. So then it's okay, so the secret to the universe is frequency. What is the easiest thing to identify as frequency? It's music. And music is always, you don't listen to music for your brain. No, you listen to your music for your heart. And your heart is where the vulnerability is. So if someone is operating your frequency and has ill intention, okay, they will corrupt you from an emotional standpoint. That's the path into you. That frequency is the path into your soul. It's the most important topic of the world to me. If I think my world is evil, what's the core cause of it? It's frequency. Evil owns the frequency. So I needed to make music. I need to make music that fights that evil. I need to make the total opposite frequency. Do you understand that my music is at war? My music is to combat the war on frequency. The frequencies of the universe is owned and operated by evil. I've always seen it that way. Sometimes I couldn't put it into words for a long time until I understood it better. But overall, my whole existence, I have always felt that music, the popular music, okay, the people who get famous, these people are evil. I've always felt it. And that's why I choose house. That's why I chose to be a music artist, because that is the number one way. I find the number one way to fight evil is through frequency. And the number one way to influence through frequency is through music. And that's why I'm team good. That's why I'm team God. I'm team positive. I'm team 1, not 0. I'm on, not off. I'm active, not inactive. I'm abled, not disabled. So yeah, be a 1. All right? Think back to why you started. Does it need to be altered? Do you need to go back to the drawing board, repurpose yourself, rebrand yourself? Do it. If you need help, call me up. I'll be there. Hit me up in the comments. We'll talk. But yeah, I'm here for the long run. Can't wait. Can't wait for what? I don't know. But I can't wait. Have a good one, guys. And remember, stay beautiful.